because I read one of your speeches about it, and I know that you are trying to bring this up on the floor of the Senate and to discuss it deeply and perhaps find solution. Is also something that also affects some of you and your colleagues about the issue of unexplained wealth, about suddenly someone just coming into a political office and all of a sudden he becomes a big man, someone who comes from nothing, and suddenly, just in a few months, suddenly he cannot explain what. Is our system so porous that we cannot check these kind of things?
Yeah, it is. And that's why there is the need to urgently sign what I even think the president who comes in, or even the last one that they still came in with this mantra of fighting corruption. And if we don't fight the corruption, there can't be meaningful development. And in fact, the effect of it rolls over so many things. So that is the need for the unexplained wealth. And it is being practiced, adopted by United Nations. UK has what they call one unexplained wealth order. America, France, Germany, and even Kenya recently. They have this law that gives a court or investigating bodies like EFCC, ICPC to now investigate. It is not like taking somebody to establish criminality. No. It's just like, if you are wearing this watch and I know your income, it's not in tandem with the value of that.
Yeah.
It's simply to say,
explain it.
Explain. If you have explained convincingly, you are free to go and have your watch. But if you do not explain adequately, that watch is seized and then auction if it have to, and the proceeds goes into the government account because it's people's money.
Are you trying to lead that debate and for a bill on the floor of the Senate?
Yeah, I've tried severally. I've tried, but the excuse here and there. I think the best way to get this across is when the bill comes from the executive. The executive, or in the interim, the president, the current president, should sign an executive order on unexplained wealth.
So it is not only on citizens. I mean, we have political office order.
Yeah.
In fact, there are research that are being done that in Nigeria today, most of the houses that you find in Asokoro, Maitama, in Lekki area of Lagos, and in the posh and the luxurious areas of major cities in Nigeria are owned by civil servants.
Yeah, that's it. I know of civil servants that live in a house that their income, not only their income, their salary or their life pension, assuming they will live in this world for 90 years or 100 years, if you calculate their legitimate income, you cannot buy the house they are living in. And in Nigeria, they find it comfortable to drive from that house to their office. The same thing with some of our politicians, especially the politically exposed sponsors and those, and like ministers. You find, as you rightly said, you find some of us come to the National Assembly and suddenly, So they need to investigate so that the fight against corruption should not be reactive, it should be proactive. And then you try to discourage people. Like right now, an American senator is in court and he's likely to be jailed.
Why?
Because he got FBI. Is it FBI they have there?
Yeah, FBI, yeah.
Yes, I think it was not a whistleblower, but information, because they have informants everywhere. Raided his house, they found a Mercedes-Benz, and then bar of gold and cash dollars, and they took him to court. Because that's not explained well, and they allege, actually after a thorough investigation, that they're alleging that he got this money by influencing. He's the chairman of Foreign Affairs, I think. Yeah, Foreign Affairs. The business for some Egyptians. Mm. Right now in America, he's in court.
I'm pushed to almost ask you, is that not a failure on your own side and some of your colleagues that this kind of important bill that we see to curtail and curb corruption is not able to succeed?
Well, I will partially accept what you say, but equally, Sheung, we as politicians are public servants. The politically...
You should be public servant.
Yes.
But a lot of the times, that is not the case. That is your role, ordinarily.
Wait, the public are those that are supposed to put us on our toes, to represent them, to account for our actions, or even our assets, or our belongings. That's why before you are sworn in, you need to go to Code of Conduct Bureau to declare your assets. But how many times have you heard of the Code of Conduct Bureau? And we declare our assets at the end.
But do you know what happened, Senator?
Yes.
At the Code of Conduct Bureau, a lot of them, they will say, this is my property. It costs about 1 naira. They will say it's 10 naira.
Yes.
But when they come back, they will now deflate it so that they, you know the reasons.
But still, that is a loophole from the Code of Conduct. Because if you say, I have this is my laptop, which I didn't have, or it's a laptop that is costing 50,000 or 500,000, and I declare it as something that is 2 million, anticipating that I'll buy an upgrade of that to cover. It is the responsibility of that institution to check.
But does it have the capacity? Because this system has not built, and they do not have the capacity to do what they are supposed to do.
They have to build the capacity.
So the question is,
I agree with you. Not
you are
only
saying that the executive should push the bill for unexplained wealth.
Not only pushing.
To propose it.
You see,
to be an executive bill.
Not only that. To me, should be more than that. This government, on the previous one especially, came under the mantra of fighting corruption. You can't fight corruption effectively by being reactive. You have to be proactive. You have to know. You have to make the public know that you are working, you are investigating people, not when your opponent or your enemy or your rival writes an appointment, petition against you to EFCC or ICPC or no. They don't have to wait for petition. They are supposed to be tracking us, for example, the politically exposed persons, to know. And even, the private individuals and the public and the corporate organizations, because this corruption is not only with the politically exposed or public servants or civil servants.
How dangerous is this unexplained wealth? There are those who say that a lot of the terrorism that we see and the insecurity we see in the country today are linked to these people who cannot explain their wealth.
No, it's
and they are using it to fight the state.
It's part of it. Part of it is, as you said, financing of criminalities. And then there are some that you have not mentioned in Nigeria now that is growing. That is, we are joining the cartel, where drug barons move money from here. You find the cocaine being seized, and then the question is, where do they get it from? Because it's not produced in Nigeria.
For those kind of criminality?
No, the criminals is a worldwide something now they have to go around. That is another sect itself. There are some people that are doing this through Yahoo now, but the ones we see arrested are small ones. And the one that maybe 1 or 2, and which was arrested, was a big one, but it is international. But you have them in Nigeria. For example, the amount of money the banks lose as a result of internet fraud. But all we see is the Yahoo boys, they call, that, defraud people 1 million, 2 million or so, but the big ones. And you can see also, even the civil servants that are caught in the distance of corruption, they go free almost, so to say. That is, they go on bail, on whatever they call it, self-recognizance bail. And then you start hearing them that they are trying to settle with the government out of court. What do they call it again, that term? Plea bargain.
Plea bargain, yeah.
No, we are not serious. But
if this President Bola Tinubu, wants to show the world and this country that he wants to fight corruption,
he must start. If I were him, not necessarily after this program, tomorrow is Monday, he should just bring a paper and sign presidential executive order.
On unexplained wealth.
Unexplained wealth.
If you are a politician, you are a minister, you are a senator,
you are
and you are living above your means.
You should explain why you got that money.
The EFCC chairman, the new guy, Olukoyede,
I asked him.
Yeah,
I told him.
In fact, what he's done last week was to ask all EFCC officials to then now declare their assets.
Yeah.
But I think we need to go further than that.
Yeah, that is also not very far, because I've been following the system. You see corruption in EFCC.
Really?
Yeah, you see it. When you go to EFCC, may be transferred from police to EFCC. After 1 year, 2 years old, 2 years, you see the difference.
So there's corruption in EFCC itself that is supposed to be fighting corruption.
Yeah, you can see it. Not that I cannot pin it down, but you can see it. You just explain about your watch. You say people, and I asked you, why did you get this watch? You have to tell me now.
Yeah.
The next thing is, when after leaving here, I'll find out who is that your friend that gave you this watch,
Yes.
and whether it is true.
It is true or not.
But if not, then I will ask the EFCs to come and collect.
Come and find out and see.
It's Katia, is it?
Yeah.
It's Katia?
Yeah.
It's the cost of that your watch is about 5 million. You said it.
I need to make a lot of money then if I'm
if you go, if you want me to auction it for you, I can get you 2 million.
as an agent.
Yes, I can get you 2 million.
I mean, this is not a joke.
I'm serious. No, it's not a joke.
The fact remains that we need to be serious about fighting this corruption.
Well, I told you now, right now, if it's simple to me, especially, I'm not a professional, but if I am a professional, I saw this your watch, and I gave example of it. And during the break, you said, this is what happened. And I agree with you.
But I'd like to know, if you are asking the executive to take this action,
yes,
and if they don't do it, because you said it's not been successful in the National Assembly,
yes, I asked,
where do we go from here?
I don't know.
Because we need to find a solution.
The public can pressurize the executive or even us, the lawmakers, and even the international community. Remember, the genesis, the origin of EFCC was because in 2020, the global financial something refused to recognize Nigeria unless they set up NFIU.
NFIU, yeah.
That was what led to the establishment of EFCC. And the first person appointed then was Ribadu. The NFIU in Nigeria is there still. And they are working, but they are not effective. Because we have not seen any result.